We'll see if he thinks the Bears can get on track this week against the Indianapolis Colts. They'll go to Indy as about a 1.5-point underdog for the Week 3 matchup against a very desperate 0-2 Indianapolis Colts team. We'll do updated power rankings today through Week 2. We got the lunch rush and all kinds of fun. What's up, my man?
Maybe a list, huh?
I don't think we're going to do it. I can give you a list. I've got a list.
What kind of list do you have?
I got a list of the injured players around this league.
It's a ton. There's a rash of injuries this week.
So I do have a list.
Cooper Kupp's hurt.
They've already...
Joe Mixon's
I'm telling
hurt.
you, this is where, like, if the Bears can win this week and going on the road is tough, Joe Mixon's going to be okay. It looks like he dodged serious injury.
Yeah.
I'm on Ross St. Brown as well for Detroit because he did not look good at the end of that game. He was on the sidelines at the end of that game.
He was.
And he looked to be in a tremendous amount of discomfort. What was I going to say? You
got a list.
If the Bears can win this week, you're going on the road, you're playing a desperate team. You're going to come home next week against a Rams team that is really beat up.
Cooper Kupp gone, Puka gone.
Yeah. You're going to catch them at a good time.
That's right. You will. And the Bears defense going up against their theoretical strength, which is their offense usually. And then you get the Rams defense that's trying to rebuild and trying to figure out who the hell they are anymore.
Yeah, and they got carved up by Arizona. So I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse. Right?
Let's not do that.
That probably wouldn't work. You put the cart in front, it doesn't work.
You got to put
first things first, play Indianapolis this weekend.
You got to put this one in the bank.
Yeah.
You got to put it in the bank.
The Bears better spend a lot of time this week. I don't need to tell them how to do their job. Actually, sometimes I think maybe we should. They better spend a lot of time this week, my friend, poring over the film of the Colts' first two opponents, and I'd go to school on whatever it was that
they were doing.
Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers did to the Indianapolis Colts, and I'll go back and watch that game tonight to get an idea. And I wonder how much Thayer's already looked back at it just to see what did they do, knowing going in that they were going to be pretty one-dimensional, to still feel like they could commit to the run and find some success committing the run. And, it wasn't a pretty game. Hey, what was it, 16-10 the final of that game? 16-13?
It was.
16, whatever it was?
16-10 was a very popular score while I was watching the game.
Didn't it, Jurko?
It's 16-10 everywhere.
It did. Even last night seemed like it was 16-10 for a little while, wasn't it? That game finished 16-10. It wasn't a masterpiece and it wasn't a work of art, but we know the limitations of Malik Willis, who's got to play right now because of Jordan Love's injury. And the Packers just did it anyway. They're like, we're going to run it 50 times and we're going to win. The Bears have really struggled to run the ball in the first couple of weeks here.
How bad is it?
It's bad. I'll give you some numbers. It's bad. They're dead last in adjusted line yards on offense. Here's the sort of coincidental thing. The Colts D-line is dead last in adjusted line yards. Sometimes you hear best on best, right?
Right.
Worst on worst.
Worst on worst.
Who gets the better? This is the worst offensive line in the NFL based off of adjusted line yards against the worst defensive line in the NFL based on adjusted line yards. Who wins the matchup?
Well, I'm hoping it's going to be the Chicago Bears.
Me too. And DeForest Buckner, one of the best players on the Colts defensive line, he's not going to play because he's another one of those star players injured around the league.
And so that's great. And it's going to be a home crowd basically down there. Anybody that could get tickets to Indianapolis,
it'd be a lot of Bear fans.
Is going to be down there.
Yeah, there'll be a lot.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of Bear fans down there. I don't know if they'll overtake the Indianapolis Colts fans, but if the Indianapolis Colts fans are looking to recoup some of their investment of their NFL dollars, I don't think they'll mind going ahead and sloughing this game off and watching it on TV.
The Bears are 30th in the NFL, Jurko, in EPA per play through 2 weeks. 30th. Only the Broncos and the Panthers are worse. And those two offenses have been dreadful. But the Bears offense has been
by a second-year quarterback and a rookie quarterback that was drafted after our rookie quarterback.
That's right. You're right about that. One team's making a change at quarterback. You think about that list. The Bears have their rookie quarterback, like you said. Bo Nix has struggled. He's a rookie quarterback himself. And the other team is, basically saying, if we made a mistake, we're going to turn to 38-year-old Andy Dalton to try to fix our season. That's not a good sign. So those are the bottom three in the league right now. No team's averaging fewer yards per play than the Bears, unfortunately. The Bears are 24th in rush EPA and 22nd in rushing success rate. So none of those numbers are good. Sylvie had a good player A, player B yesterday, and he was using this as an example just to talk about the broader point of, trying to help Caleb along and trying to get this offense going for all the talk we did in the offseason about all the great weapons and there's this guy and there's that guy and look at this receiver and that receiver. Sometimes the best friend of a young quarterback is going to be, can you have an effective running game? And Sylvie did a player A, player B. I don't know if you heard it. Player A was Caleb with 267 passing yards this year. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Player B was Justin Herbert with 274 passing yards. 7 passing yards separate the two right now. Justin Herbert does have 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, made a couple of great throws in that game the other day if you were watching it against Carolina, including the first touchdown pass to Quentin Johnston. And we know how good Justin Herbert can be. But the difference is, and this is what Sylvie's point was, the difference is they're running the hell out of it. And maybe not a surprise with Jim Harbaugh, and Greg Roman, but they're running the hell out of it right now. J.K. Dobbins has back-to-back 100-yard games. He looks healthy, and knock on wood that kid, he's overcome a lot. You'd like to see a player of his talent stay healthy because I think he could be dynamic. He's got back-to-back 100-yard rushing games. More importantly, Jurk, he already has 7 runs of 10-plus yards, and he's averaged 4 yards before first contact per attempt. Now, maybe that's kind of a ridiculous number. You would expect as the sample builds that's going to maybe regress a little. 4 yards before first contact, my God. Well, DeAndre Swift is averaging.
It's a credit to the offensive line.
And I was getting there. DeAndre Swift is averaging 1.1 yard before first contact per attempt. Not only does J.K. Dobbins have those 7 rushes of 10 yards or more, DeAndre Swift has only 1. So there's really no big explosive play happening. Like Alvin Kamara has 7 runs as well of 10-plus yards. Saquon's got 5 after last night. Poor Saquon. We'll get to that in a little bit. Josh Jacobs, Bijan Robinson, each have 6. The Bears as a team have just 1 such rush. So you're not getting explosive plays anywhere. And I think you're right. It is a testament to what the Chargers are doing with their ground game and their offensive line. They've got 2 unbelievable tackles. I mean, we know Slater's unbelievable. Joe Wall through 2 games looks pretty unbelievable.
Pretty good.
So they might have 2 great tackles. And when you watch last night's game, watch the Falcons run the ball right now. Watch the Eagles run the ball. And, their O-lines are moving people. And the Bears O-line just hasn't done that yet. There has been... There's this ground game has offered nothing for the young quarterback. It's offered nothing to lean on a little bit. And when you're running the ball early and you're going nowhere and you're stuck in 2nd and 3rd and long instead of 2nd and short, 3rd and manageable, and you've got a rookie quarterback and an O-line that's not that good, it's a recipe for disaster. And I think that's why this offense has struggled so much.
And when you do make a play, you come back the next one, you're either in the huddle too long or 58 decides he wants to move. Or somebody whiffs on another block and you put yourself in a 3rd and 2, and now you can't convert on the 3rd and 2.
Yeah.
And you're not in plus territory. So now you got to punt the ball away with the greatest punter in all the world.
Yes, the greatest. Thank goodness.
Is an average punter in the NFL.
There wasn't like a center they could have drafted?
Yeah. 4th round, maybe.
4th round.
Could have been a guy.
Was there a center? Anybody
maybe
know?
A guard. We'll find out 3-4 years from now. We'll take a look back.
You could have maybe drafted.
Maybe he was the best player available at the time, and maybe it'll prove out to be he was the best player at the time.
Maybe he was.
So it doesn't matter. I'm just going to make fun of it all year because everybody that thought it was something special. I'm going to make fun of it because Ryan Poles told you there's so much competition all over the place.
The only reason we pour on is because
I'm going to make fun of it.
Like the Bears fans that were going nuts.
Yeah. The idiots.
Draft pick.
The idiots. They're out there.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Drafting a punter in the 4th round is
Remember what I called it? Arrogance, right? It's an arrogance.
You and Waddle both said that.
That's what I said. It was an arrogance. And here we are,
arrogant move.
2 weeks into the season, scratching our head going, man, we don't have a starting offensive line, much less who the backups are. I don't know who the Hamburger.
Matt Pryor.
What's his name? Hamburger.
Doug Kramer.
Mark Pryor.
Matt
Kramer.
Pryor.
Kramer.
Doug Kramer.
I thought it was Mitch Berger or somebody.
I mean, could it be anywhere? We'll ask Thayer that when he joins us at 1. Like, could it really be any worse right now?
I've seen guys that have been backup players get pressed into action and play well because they've been prepared to play well.
Right.
You got an offense coordinator that has semblance of an idea of, okay, let's put these guys in a position to win. I've seen that before. In Chicago, I don't see it. That offensive line, whoever thought it was complete, made a big mistake.
I mean, they made so back-to-back years they go out and they add on free agency on that line.
Yeah.
Neither's look particularly good. They make a trade for a guy that might have been damaged goods with the shoulder injury now, and he's on injured reserve.
Listen, I think both of your tackles are going to be fine. Darnell Wright really kind of crapped the bed on one specific play where he got beaten. He was embarrassed. He did. I think your tackles are going to be okay. I don't know what's wrong with Tevin Jenkins.
I don't know either. This is a contract year. Like this is supposed this should be go time.
We know what Nate Davis's issues are. We know they made a mistake on Nate Davis.
It sure seems like
they made a mistake. He doesn't want to play. Why doesn't he pick up the stunts? Well, because he wasn't practicing. When you're learning all that crap in the 6 weeks that you've had with 4 games, you're learning all that crap and you're getting a chemistry with the guys that you're going to be working with. Where was he? Not wanting to practice. Soft tissue injury. You know the heart is a soft tissue. You know that, right?
The heart is an organ.
Heart is also soft tissue.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you know the biggest organ in your body? Be careful.
The epidermis.
That's right, Jurko.
The skin. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something else.
No, I wasn't, because I'm a smart individual. Secondly, when he should have been
got that?
When he should have been getting the chemistry with his offensive line and his mates, he was off on the side because his belly hurt. His belly hurt.
I love when you bust balls.
Yeah, my belly, it hurts.
You can do that more than I can.
I can't practice. My belly hurts.
I love it when you bust balls like that.
So now you got a problem. Now you got a problem because why? Your preseason is taking place in the first 2 weeks of the season, and you look like a fool.
Yeah.
You look like a fool because you don't know what the hell's going on. Nobody's communicating with each other on that offensive line. It's a problem.
Coming up next.
My belly hurts.
We're going to start we got Bears calls rolling in, so we want to hear from Bears fans.
My belly hurts.
Can they fix the O-line? Can some of these problems get fixed? 312-332-3776. Jurko has been saying something for the better part of the last year or so. As much as we like a lot of the things Ryan Poles has done, Jurko at numerous times, has brought up the way he's gone about constructing certain aspects of this roster. And Jurko's questioned it a little bit. Not in a mean way, not hating on Ryan Poles, just that it's a little odd, but okay. One of the more respected all-time football minds out there totally agrees with Jurko because he was saying as such yesterday as he was making the media rounds. We'll play that for you coming up next, and we'll start taking some Bears calls at 312-332-3776. It's Carmen and